it's something that's concerning, especially when race relations are being exploited, used for political gains. And especially when you have religious elements in this. So when you have a party like PAS, for example, espousing certain views, asking Singaporeans to vote along religious and racial lines, I think that's very dangerous. That's the kind of politics perhaps you can see in Malaysia, where you have different parties representing different faiths or different races, whether it's UMNO, PAS, DAP, MIC, and you can see how the parties are organized. But that's not the case in Singapore, where we've spent the last 60 years trying to build peace, unity, harmony, mutual trust between race, and certainly we being a multi-religious society where we understand and respect each other's faith. But having said that, you don't want to have a situation where this is being exploited. I mean, we've seen the dangers of that in the early days of our independence. We have racial riots, we have protests, whether it's across different races or along religious lines. I think there's certainly scope for discourse, to be clear. There's certainly scope for discourse, there's certainly scope for debate. But when you have foreigners interfering, it's not just about putting posts, but you're asking Singaporeans to vote a certain way because of their beliefs overseas or the way of life overseas, then I think it doesn't suit us. And we have to be very careful because we've seen this in many countries, for whether they distort algorithms, whether they use bots to influence elections. But I think the bigger danger is when you start using religion or you start using race divide. And this is something we have to guard against in Singapore, because once you break that trust between races or between people of different faiths, I think that's very dangerous here in Singapore. We're a very small country, there's nowhere to hide. And therefore, the worry is that it is very easy to exploit religion, for example. If your faith says you have to do something and therefore you vote a certain way because someone says so, then I think that's going to be challenging. But if you speak to many Singaporeans today, I think the good thing is that for many Singaporeans, you've seen surveys as well, they feel that they're Singaporeans first, rather than race second or religion second. But again, we have to bear in mind that there will also be segments of the community, and not small, where may feel otherwise too, that they identify more with race and religion as well. So therefore, there is that balance that we have to manage. I would say that making it clear that foreign interference is not something that we will accept. Making it clear that Singapore politics is for Singaporeans alone, I think that makes a difference.